The other day in reading, you read this book, Seeing Eye Dogs, with your teacher. And today, we're going to learn a little bit more about them. One of my favorite stories has always been Clifford's Family, where Clifford, the big red dog, travels around to visit all of his brothers and sisters and see what they're doing. In this part of the story, Clifford goes to visit his sister named Claudia. It says, Clifford's sister Claudia lived nearby. She was taking her owner for a walk. So on this page you can notice that Claudia's job is being a seeing eye dog for a woman that is wearing dark sunglasses, and that tells us that she has trouble seeing, or maybe she is blind. On this page it says, we went to the park with them. A taxi was blocking the crosswalk. That means Claudia, the guide dog, can tell her owner when it's safe to go across the street. But Clifford has an idea, and you know Clifford is pretty silly. Here we see Clifford took care of that. I don't think that's really what Clifford would do, but that, I guess, is one way to get across the street. Hi, boys and girls. It's Miss Forster, and I am at Parkway Banquets. It's a beautiful place near this beautiful setting by the lake. And I'm here to talk to Mr. Ming. He is the owner, and he's going to tell us some things about training dogs to be seeing eye dogs, which means dogs that help people that are blind. And here's Mr. Kubelka putting on his mask. He's going to be here today to help me interview Mr. Ming. Okay, boys and girls, this is Mr. Ming. He owns a place called Parkway Banquets right here near where our school is. If you were in first grade last year or higher grade, then you might remember Mr. Ming coming and showing us Lucy and Coco.
Ricky, here he is. That's all right. Loves to chew on things like sticks. She is 8 weeks old. She's a purebred female black lab, and she's absolutely adorable. She loves to, oh, she's hiccuping right now. She is a purebred female black lab, and our goal is that we train her as she gets to be older and become an adult to become a service dog for someone who is visually impaired, someone who's blind, someone who has trouble seeing. And if you think about it, if you have trouble seeing, you can't go places, you can't go around town, and you can't walk sidewalks and things like that. And with a dog like this leading you on, it opens up your whole world for you. Ouch, don't chew.
This is Mr. Kubelka giving Lucy some scratches. You might remember Lucy from last year's assembly. Mr. Ming is going to tell us a little bit about what Lucy has been up to.
Sure, Lucy is now 4.5 years old, and Lucy has had 4 litters of puppies. We just had our last litter on, oh shoot, when was it? Right about the 1st of January, and we took them back to Leader Dog, back to the place on the middle of March. And those dogs will go out to other people like me to train. So Lucy's had 4 litters now, and now they've made it so she won't have any more, and now she's going to be my pet working dog for life.
What is a litter? When a dog has puppies, the group of puppies is called a litter. Can you guess why these puppies have different color collars on? I bet it's because they look so much alike that those different colors help the owner tell the puppies of this litter apart.
Are people allowed to go up to service dogs and just pet them automatically?
And the answer to that is no, not really, because these dogs are working dogs. You can ask somebody if you can pet them, but like with Coco or Lucy or the other dogs that I've had, and we will do it with Ricky here, once she'll be wearing a jacket that says I'm a puppy in training for leader dog, and you ask if you can pet it, and what I will do is always get them to sit so they behave themselves, then you can pet them. But you never want to walk up and just start to pet them. Sure, they're snuggly and cuddly, but what happens is then the dog starts to become distracted, and you don't want that to happen.
Okay, boys and girls, this is Ricky that you've already met, and I have a question too for Mr. Ming. I'd like to know what you do to train them. How do you train the dogs?
Well, it's kind of like when your parents tell you to do something, sometimes you listen and sometimes you don't, and the dogs are just that way too. So it's, come here, Luce. Hey, come here, come on, over here. So here's a perfect example. She hears me, come here. But she doesn't always listen right away, and then she kind of walks over slowly. But we teach her through repetition. We give her treats to do something. When she does it, she gets rewarded and told what a good girl she is. And dogs want to please you. They're not there to disobey. They're not there to be mean. Dogs want to please you. They want to do what's happy. Come here, come on. And so she will do this. She'll come to me. Come on. Oh, she's sitting by you. She's actually protecting a little bit to Ricky already. She's learned that already, to protect her. Even though these two have only been together for 3 days right now, she's already learned to, sometimes she drives her nuts. I get that. She'll start to nip at her and she'll have to bark at her and things like that, but they're good buddies already. So like here's one of the basic commands with Lucy. Hey, we sit. And she goes right to a down now. She's learned to do that because that's the next step I'm going to do with her. Now, Ricky here is only, can we sit? Good girl. And we have to tell them what a good girl they are and reinforce it so they know that's what you want them to do. Because you can't have dogs that misbehave or dogs that go crazy because nobody wants to be around them. But she's learned that already, just in a couple of days. Come here. Come on.
Can you tell me again where the dogs are now in the
Sure.
world?
So we've got our very first dog is with someone in New Mexico. Our second dog is with a woman in Oklahoma City.
So here is Round Lake in this area. And one puppy went here to Oklahoma City. Another pup went here to the state of New Mexico. And another pup traveled from the United States all the way over to Barcelona, Spain. Mr. Ming told me that he would be happy to come next year to our school and let us meet the puppies that he's training. Thank you so much, Mr. Ming, for letting us come and interview you today.